Hello everyone, Brad Johnson here, and in this video I'm going to be going ahead and bringing in Adronis for another challenge session, and what he's going to be talking about in this video is the Earth's poles and new life. So he's going to be talking about a lot of what has been shared in the scientific community about a lot of these new life forms that have been forming around the northern and southern poles. So Adronis is going to be sharing a lot more about this phenomenon, and as well as more about the poles themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Adronis in now, and we'll get started. Here we go. We are here at this time, and we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this particular broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. We have been shared by this conduit to elaborate further pertaining to the idea of the Earth's poles, and in relation to the life forms that many of your scientists are discovering. Now, the poles themselves would be what you would consider to be the, shall we say, transformational point, the border ground between the idea of new lives that are actually being seeded on behalf of the Earth source. You could also refer to this as the heart of the Earth in that particular way. That the matrix, in another way also, of the Earth is contained within its center. Now understand that your planet Earth is a technology. Her particular body has been engineered. It has been constructed. And so the whole idea is that the mainframe, as it were, pertaining to the source of Mother Earth, is responsible for all life forms that have been produced upon her surface. These particular new life forms that are recently being discovered around the polar regions of your planet represent the idea of, shall we say, twofold. One represents life that has simply been around for quite some time, but is now starting to surface in regards to, shall we say, more noticeability and discovery throughout your scientific community. The second are indeed new forms of life, and that they have been patternized in regards to a new consciousness. They are basically matching the associated algorithm pertaining to the Earth right now as she continues to evolve. Many of these new life forms that you will discover are actually engineered to improve the surrounding environment of the planet. This can represent the idea in that sense of working to rebuild coral reefs. This also represents the idea of purification of water supply. These can also represent the idea of spores that can eventually become, shall we say, sea-bound, and then eventually making themselves towards land to, in that sense, create more forms of microbial life that will also assist in regards to what you may also know as fungus. And that certain forms of fungus are actually being produced in other areas of the world that will represent an extension of immense healing properties. These particular healing properties are in benefit in regards for animals, plant life, and human beings. So again, the Earth herself is adapting to the transformations that are taking place throughout her Earth body and allowing these particular forms of energies, these new life forms, and again, life forms that have not yet been encountered by man, to become apparent. And so again, there is a rejuvenation factor that is taking place here. The whole idea is, again, you would look at the interior of the Earth, the core of the Earth heart or the Earth matrix as a factory. And it is this very factory that is actually creating these particular forms of microbial life, or shall we say protein-enriched life forms, and are now actually starting to, in that sense, cultivate themselves in regards to, shall we say, the underwater bridges. And through these particular underwater bridges, these particular forms of life are now expanding themselves from singular cellular to multicellular, and into what you would often refer to as new life forms that are much more macro in that particular degree. This is going to continue to happen. There will be more forms of life of all types that will become much more apparent upon your planet. However, the richness in regards to life upon planet Earth is found within the depths of the ocean. This is actually what contains the most variety of all particular life, is what is found within your oceans. You'll discover as well too that as you, in that sense, come to looking at these particular forms of life through scientific scrutiny, that you will discover many different cures pertaining to healing agents that are actually contained within the biology of these particular forms of animals. So again, there is much to explore pertaining to these new life forms that are coming together on your planet. It's all part and parcel of adapting into a new consciousness on your world to have these particular life forms, these spores and seeds that will actually become, again, part of your own land and working together in microbial or fungicides that will assist in these particular forms of alleviations of ailments, as well as, shall we say, airborne improvements as well too. It is organic, natural life that is assisting in the reconstruction of the earth, in that sense, helping to repair much of the damage that has been done. And so this is basically what's happening. Earth herself has what you would refer to as harmonious immune system defenses, and that these particular life forms are representing that so that the Earth herself does not spiral out of control in regards to further contamination or toxicity or pollutants contained within her body. Now again, looking at the poles themselves, these are dimensional gateways. Now again, as we have stated, your Earth really is not hollow per se. It does have hollow qualities, but it is not really what you would refer to in that sense being absent of any particular form of space. The inner mantle in regards to your particular planet would be much more of what you would know as liquid or fluidic. But there can be in that idea of certain forms of patches that you may understand as somewhat hollow-based. However, there is fluidic content contained within the center of your planet. These polar forms of openings that have been shared in certain forms of documentation and criteria throughout many of your experts around your planet have shared these opening gateways, and that these do indeed lead to different dimensional portals, different realms and platforms contained within your own inner Earth. These are actually dimensional openings, and it is through these very dimensional openings that many of the spawning of life can actually come through. It is what you would refer to as, in that sense, moving from the ethereal world into the physical world. So if there was, by chance, a particular craft from what you may know as an airplane or any other particular form of vehicular, shall we say, conveyance, that were to fly through the particular portals, then basically you are flipping into what is known as a time-space nexus rather than a space-time nexus. And it would basically lead into a dimension to where the physical matter of the beings and of the material of the craft itself would not be, shall we say, durable in regards to the passage of its journey. There are, in that sense, many different forms of, shall we say, vehicles and other conveyances that have in the past attempted to go through these particular inner Earth openings and have never returned. They simply function within a dimension that is not compromisable in order for a feeling of living to continue. It simply represents the idea of the distortion of the durability of material. And so nothing physically can actually pass through these particular portals as regards to your current technology and current understanding of this. There will be more opportunities in your future to have more of a further investigation pertaining to the portals contained within the poles that your scientists and that many other forms of the scientific community will begin to understand a lot more. This will represent the idea that once this has become a lot more unleashed, shall we say, restricted access is now turned off, and you are now becoming much more aware that there are hollow openings relating to your planet that represent dimensional portals, then you will discover that there will be a great more deal of scientific journeys. The whole idea here is, again, that it is more what you would consider to be outer entries. However, there are particular inner entries that exist in different areas of your planet, which can often be found in caverns, caves, etc., that can actually lead into, shall we say, different areas of your planet, leading into the inner mantle. However, these particular, shall we say, northern and southern portals, in that sense, are outputs, and they are basically representing the field. Nothing organic can really maintain its integrity by going in through those particular portals, as they are outward apertures in that way of understanding. So this is a basic understanding, shall we say, pertaining to the portals, the poles of themselves, that represent also the spawning of new life. They are also in representation to, yes, associations from what you would know as your aurora borealis. representing the idea of electron color flow emitting through the poles at specific intervals during times of opening. And again, many of their forms of openings are somewhat sporadic based upon certain forms of alignments and, shall we say, phases to allow these portals to open, to actually allow further levels of increased amplified aurora borealis to take place. So again, this is what we can share and elaborate for now pertaining to the poles. We know that there is a great deal more of information that can be shared, but as time passes, there will be more information shared through this conduit that will represent further information pertaining to your own inner Earth nexus. We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all of you. Thank you very much once again, farewell, and we now return to the conduit. We will speak to you again in the infinite moment of now. Goodbye. All right, thank you very much. And for more information on Adronis or for more sessions, courses, etc., please feel free to visit consciousmatrix.com. Thank you so much for watching. More videos will be coming again very, very soon. Take care. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Namaste.